first of all, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for all that you've done for our kids and our district this year, but certainly over the last 2 months. As I said before, it's been quite a difficult year, quite an eventful year, but I think you all rose to the challenge and have really done an amazing job. So much so that the community has taken notice, and I can't tell you how many emails and phone calls I've received over this period of time, just singing your praises and singing the praises of the district. And on a personal note, as not only the superintendent, but a father in the district, I've seen firsthand what you all have done. And I want to especially thank those teachers of my kids for the amazing job that you've done. And certainly all teachers of all kids. And not only the teachers, but the nurses as well. I want to especially thank you, and thank you for volunteering to be contact tracers in the upcoming months. And the psychologists as well. You've continued to serve your students through teletherapy and by conducting IEP meetings and so forth. So I can't thank you all enough. And I've seen a lot of amazing things on social media, teachers reading to their students virtually, the car parades to let the students know that you're thinking about them, that they're cared about, and that they're loved. I am really proud to be a part of this district and just proud to be your colleague. And so now I want to give you a couple of updates, and then I'm going to ask for your support with one item. So let me just start with the budget. As you know, each year, the governor proposes a budget in January. And this school year, when the governor proposed his budget, the state was in pretty good shape. I think there was a $6 billion surplus. And we thought for sure things were looking good, and that we were going to be in a far better place than we had been over the past few years. Of course, coronavirus happened, and the bottom fell out, so to speak. So a few weeks prior to the governor's May revise, and so in May, the governor proposes a revision to his January budget based on additional information such as revenue, tax receipts collected, and so forth. So just prior to the governor releasing his May revision of his budget, around about the 14th of May, the Office of Finance, the budget office in the state, released a memo that pretty much said that sales tax receipts were down somewhere around $54 billion, which meant that Prop 98, which funds our schools, would take an $18 billion hit. Of course, there was no way schools or school districts could survive that kind of hit. Just to put things in perspective or in context, in the Great Recession, the difference in revenue to Prop 98 from one year to the next was about $7.4 billion, and not the $18 billion that we were hearing about. That would have resulted in somewhere around a $35 billion hit to the Prop 98 revenue. And so fortunately, when the governor released his May revision of his budget, we found out that he was reducing our LCFF revenue by 10%, less the COLA, which brings it down to about 7.91%. This will result in approximately $15 million of lost revenue for our district. Now, of course, as school leaders, we believe that the state can do better. And a group of superintendents all across the state, but certainly our local superintendents here that are in the 5-star alliance, which those are Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, La Cañada, and South Pasadena. We've been pushing our state legislators and the governor pretty hard to give us some relief, provide some additional budget mitigation strategies. And we have met with Senator Portantino. We will meet with him again this Friday. And we're not asking for anything that should cost the state a lot of money. We're asking for some very simple things that, if done, could provide relief to our budgets. And I'll give you a few examples. We're asking that the governor work to freeze the STRS and PERS rates at the 2016 level. I think, as you know, since the 2013-14 school year, the STRS rates have gone up exponentially from, I think, 8.4 or so percent to now about 19% on average, and that's quite a bit. We're also asking for relief in terms of the set aside for restricted routine maintenance. So we have to set aside around 3% of our general fund budget for restricted routine maintenance every year. We're just asking that that be cut in half and that we be required to set aside maybe 1.5% or so. That would amount to probably $3 to $4 million or so. We're also asking that they relax the requirements for the 3% set aside. So in other words, if we moved away from percentage attendance times the number of students enrolled to simply the number of students enrolled, that would be helpful. And in addition to that, freezing the ADA level at last year's ADA over the period of 3 years, the 3-year budget cycle, would be quite helpful as well. So we're pushing hard. I know superintendents up and down the state are pushing hard as well. And we need everybody to reach out to their legislators and really make the case that school districts are the bedrock of our community and they can't fail. We can't afford for them to fail. So we're going to be putting out a call to action to all of our parents. We need to push the governor hard. He hasn't tapped into the rainy day fund. I think there is somewhere around $16 to $19 billion in the rainy day fund that could be used. So, you know, again, we're going to push hard, not only for the state politicians to provide relief, but also from the federal government. I think what the governor is doing is he's holding out to see what the feds do, because what he's planning to do is to backfill all of the cuts with federal dollars. I'm pretty hopeful, but you just never know. Just given the political climate in the country, the relationship between the politicians in Washington and the state of California, you know, it's cause for concern. But we're going to keep pushing, and we will keep you posted along the way. Then the next thing that I want to talk to you about is that we have begun our planning for the next school year. And we're planning really around 3 different scenarios: face-to-face, face-to-face, and remote learning. So we would continue what we're doing now, and possibly face-to-face, remote learning, and online, fully online, with dedicated teachers that would teach our students. So We will be getting an update tomorrow in our Emergency Operations Center meeting, after which I'll provide you with more details. Now, the State Superintendent, Tony Thurmond, made it very clear, and I totally agree with him, that there is no way, it's an impossibility, to reopen schools in the fall and keep students and staff safe while having to make cuts at the same time. It's not possible for us to reopen schools safely. It's simply not possible. So, we're hoping again that the state and the federal government will come through for us and provide the funding that we need in order to make sure that when you return to school in August on the 17th, that everybody can be safe and secure. So that leads me to the ask. In order to plan effectively and to be able to make informed decisions, we really need more information. We know that in the fall, some parents will choose not to send their kids back to a face-to-face environment, but we need to know approximately how many families are planning to do that. How many families are planning to send their kids back to school, and how many families will decide not to send their kids back to our district. All of this is important information, and especially since we're going to have very scarce dollars, we need to be dialed in as possible, so that we're not wasting scarce resources. And so, therefore, I'm asking that you assist us as much as possible by encouraging the families you serve, the parents, to fill out the survey. We need as close to a 100% response rate as we can get, so that we can accurately plan for the new school year. So please do reach out to the families and just encourage them to fill out the survey. It's not a long survey. I believe it's only around 3 questions or so. But there are 3 important questions around what families are planning to do for the new school year. As always, I will keep you posted every step of the way. Just be assured that your association is also actively involved in the planning. Nothing is being done in isolation. All of this has to be a collaborative effort. We can't do it alone. We have to do it together. We're always stronger together. And so with that, I'm going to turn it now over to your association president, Dr. Allison Steps.
Thank you, Dr. McDonald. Hello, I am Allison Steps, president of United Teachers of Pasadena. And we are ending the 2019-2020 school year this week. And this has probably been the most challenging school year in recent history as a district, as a nation, and globally due to COVID-19. Yet as educators in Pasadena Unified School District, we persevered. Every day we worked with children to fulfill our desire to educate our community's youth, and we did this while remaining safe with our own family and loved ones at home. Teachers were creative and resourceful. It was up to us as educators to create an opportunity of how to reach students at a time when education, life at home, and in their community had changed. Educators engaged with students on new platforms, and our repertoires grew. Looking forward, we have a challenge and an opportunity to reinvent how PUSD will deliver a quality education while pursuing equity for our students. And we as educators must be included in the decisions of how we move forward. When UTP works with district management on decisions on how we reopen schools, please know that the health and safety of all of our students and staff will be at the forefront. Safety for our students and staff includes deep cleaning and continuous cleaning of campuses by trained school employees, accommodations to allow for physical distancing in classrooms, cafeterias, gyms, and other shared spaces, Students and school employees wearing facial coverings and practicing routine and regular hand washing. Access to health services, including nurses and medically trained personnel, to assist and monitor student and employee health in collaboration with community health departments. Mental health counseling and emotional support by trained counselors for students and staff and community. Schools having a robust communication system between schools, parents, caregivers, county health departments, and school employees. We need to provide for flexibility in our teaching and learning environments. Dr. McDonald mentioned that there are surveys that have gone out. There are surveys that we need our parents to complete. And it is important that we ask them what the 2020-2021 school year will look like, but we also need your input too. So it is imperative that as educators, you complete the survey that UTP has sent you and also the survey that California Teachers Association has sent you. We need to hear your voice. We must make our voices heard with our state legislators so that they appropriate more funds to public education. Without federal funds, our schools, our students will suffer. We must protect school funding and prevent state budget cuts. UTP has information on how to do this on our website and on our Facebook page. Remember, we're fighting for the survival of public education. As we prepare for a summer season of an unknown, it is important that we take time to reconnect to our former selves, to the time when we decided to go into education. Connect to those things that you were going to conquer in education and how you would turn education upside down, how you were going to inspire students with whom you came into contact. Because as we return to our campuses this August, our students will be eager to receive instruction. They will most likely be happy to be in our classrooms and ready to experience the new face of education in PUSD. Education is changing. Shirley Chisholm stated, "I am and always will be the catalyst for change." And this summer, UTP will be the catalyst for change of education in PUSD. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Steps. And so with that, we're going to wrap up this meeting. I want to thank you all again for taking this time to be with us. And again, I thank you for all that you've done over the course of this school year. And I wish for you a very restful summer. I know it will be a different summer. Many of us will not be able to take a vacation, but let's take some time to rest, to relax, and to recharge. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon, hopefully in person. But nonetheless, I look forward to seeing you all one day soon. All the very best. Enjoy your summer.